Oh, let's wait for. There we go. So it's that awkward little pause as you're hoping the screen updates correctly, and it did. It did. So, what are we on here? Tuesday. Tuesday evening, about to hit 8 PM here in the UK. I have 2 mage quests to do. I do like playing warrior, but I've got 2 mage quests to do. Well, it won't be more priest yet. We've not been offered it. I quite like priest. It's interesting. I feel mass hysteria though is particularly important because you do end up behind in quite a few games. Like if you look at all of these decks that are getting like 8 wins and stuff like that, they're either being hyper aggressive or they have a couple of reset buttons in there. You know, warrior obviously has it with warpath. So I want to do my mage quest. Oh, Craig's just finished 110 and 3. Craig's had a couple of good ones recently. He did 12 wins with Rogue, which we were actually chatting about it while he was playing through it, and it's just one of those things where you're expecting good opponents and they never turn up. You get into 8 wins, you're like, right, this is going to start getting tough now, and it's like, nope, just more warriors. Well, we're gonna skip on the Pyroblast. I'm not really a fan of that card at all. Basically, because of the bucket it turns up in, and the incredible cards that are also in the bucket. So I'm going to go with the Drake there. Two mechs and a Cursed Disciple. We'll pick up a Disciple. There's an argument for picking up a Secret quite early, because there are a few cards that interact with it reasonably well. The Cheaty Ankle Biter has also got a little bit of value, allowing you to finish something else off that possibly you're either pinging or doing something with. They're all reasonable cards. My only concern about Mirror Entity is that you need to do well against Hunters, and Hunters have historically a lot of 1 and 2 drops in the deck, so you can't really afford to have that slow play where you may be playing Mirror Entity on turn 3 and then you do something like that. Something like Scarlet Crusader or Cheaty Ankle Biter is just better in those spots. Let's go with Cheaty. Ooh. Okay. Solid Tar Creeper. I think the 2/3s is another interesting thing. The 2/3s I think they've gone up a lot in value recently. I don't know how many people have noticed this, but like a lot of the Hunter decks are a lot more aggressive and very often do have a turn 1 play. And so a 2/3 is just so much better than a 3/2. Because a lot of Hunters are just making like a 2/1 on turn 1. So I kind of like the 2/3 in the 2 mana spot. Should we draft Murloc Mage? Oh, Primal Fin Lookout to go with this Rockpool Hunter. I think the spell damage is reasonable. The Tainted Zealot. We can work with that. Well, 2 pretty awful cards and a 3rd awful card. There's spots where Arcane Missiles can be good, you know, if you're desperately trying to hit something with stealth. I suppose the Sabertooth Stalker is a little bit more reasonable in Mage because you do have the option of punching something out of the way. But because it comes down sort of turn 6 onwards, it is vulnerable to think other people's cards like Primordial Drake or the Warrior's Warpath. So I'm going to take the Arcane Missiles, really. I mean, I've already got a Tainted Zealot there. So I think, you know, this is my early game quite well done. This one's a pretty easy pick. It's the Worgen Abomination. I mean, you're playing Mage. You get to ping stuff and finish things off. It just fits into the deck very well. Three solid cards again. I do like Former Champ. I think we do need to have one in the curve. Ooh, a Blast Wave. I like Blast Wave. I like Sea Giants as well. But I do tend to take Blast Wave whenever it's on offer. I'm a sucker for stuff like that. And I like going greedy with the Arcane Dynamo as well, because a lot of Mage's spells, once they get past 5 mana, naturally are just utterly ridiculous. Like, opponents just have to play around Blizzard and Meteor and Flame Strike. There's so many good cards. Well, we can't really do Raven Familiar due to Arcane Missiles. It's like, awkward. Basically, you're hoping you're against a priest who's got a silence in the deck, right? It's about the only time Arcane Missiles is going to win that one. But the Tar Creepers against sort of these fast hunter decks make a lot of sense, really. Yeah, I think this should have been dropped. Like, this shouldn't still be in the same bucket. They nerfed it to 2 mana and then kept it in the same bucket. It's like, no. It's not that impressive now. Like, I can't think of a situation you're ever going to take Mana Worm now, given what else is in those buckets.
Yeah, it's not like there's a lot of cheap spells anymore either, is there?
No.
Especially playing Mage.
You don't get offered anything at all, do you, playing Mage?
Nah.
Yeah, I just noticed you finished 10 wins. Was it on your...
Yeah, double Meteor and the Summer Antics. So thankfully, I only came up against 3 hunters. Obviously, those were the 3 games I lost. Everything else, I beat quite comfortably.
Well, I was just talking about this. I was saying, you know, from a 2-drops, I like taking the 2/3s rather than the 3/2s now because of hunters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, there's nothing worse than your 2-drop trading with their 1-drop. It's like, oh. Plus, they're going face anyway.
Yeah. And even it's that value now. If even the spells that do 1 mana before, where you get 1 damage, you're like, meh. It's just like the shooting star MVP, because the number of times you can set boards up where you go, yeah, and I can clear 2 or 3 of your things because everyone trades, even against mages to allow 2 health. So if you can do that extra 1 point of damage, it's massive.
I'm getting a lot of cards that have 1 toughness at the moment, and I'm being forced to take them. Because I can't take Henge Clan Thug. But maybe the Death Rattle will be useful. Ooh, another Violet. I always take Violet Worms if I see them. I don't know about you. Oh, a 3rd Violet Worm. Yeah, let's just go heavy on the Violet Worms. I like them. It's all about surviving the early game now, isn't it? Till we get to our worms. It's a cheeky little Witchwood Piper there. It will get a cheaty ankle biter a lot of the time out of our deck, or possibly the Tainted Zealot. Do we have some mechs? Yeah, okay. We got Rusty Recycler, which is quite nice to be magnetised. And it's 5 for a 5/5. It's not necessarily terrible. But I mean, I also like the Witchwood Piper because it takes a bad draw out of your deck as well.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's occasionally, like I said, that 1 cheat spell is playable. To be fair, I'm not necessarily mirror image, but I'm quite a big fan of the secrets in terms of just the impact it has on an opponent's turn, because they invariably just slow right down, which for a mage is ideal.
Yeah, but you still lose. This is the thing, you still lose against the hunters because you have a 1-drop.
Mirror Entity, ironically, is one of the worst ones. It's the first one they test for, isn't it? So, ironically, some of the other ones are better. But yeah, in this situation, you're going the Witchwood because it's fine, especially what you're going to pull out of your deck.
No, that's a bit tougher, that one. Sightless Ranger or Amani Warbear. I mean, you know I like the Warbear. But Sightless Ranger is very nice as well.
Again, it comes under... actually, yeah, it's quite tough, actually, with what you've got.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, I'm going to take the Sightless Ranger because I pretty much always pick it when I see it. Because even later in the game, you can ping something and then run it in just to make sure you get the overkill.
Yeah.
I think Rush is like one of the most important mechanics in the game.
It's a shame about the arcane missiles, otherwise that Dragon Fury would have looked very nice.
Well, funnily enough, that's why I didn't take a Raven Familiar earlier. Yeah, the arcane missiles, there were basically 3 bad cards, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Good old Giggling Inventor still in the same bucket, hasn't been moved down
still
to 7 mana.
Not bad.
No, it's they are mechs, of course, which is a bit more relevant in Arena than it is elsewhere. Look at me with my triple Violet Worm late game.
It's definitely playing the late game there, isn't it? And everything that builds up to it. Because anything that holds it off.
Well, double Tar Creeper, you know, Saronite Chain Gang. Like this entire deck is just about surviving.
I guess as horrible as it seems, it's probably Rabble, because it's the one thing that kind of serves its purpose, isn't it? Which is, if you are losing the early tempo, you can put it down cheaply. I think Giggle's probably the better card, but I think if you're alive at turn 7, you're probably okay.
Actually, in any way, I don't mind the Giggling, because if you look at sort of my 8 drops, so I've got the Primordial Drake and I've got 3 Violet Worms, so I don't have much defensive after that sort of turn 7 play.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing. If you're in that late game thing, it is a wonderful. You got 1 on the board, and that just it wins through.
Playing to allow you to play the Violet Worm next turn and get a swing in with it. It's kind of like it's setting up all the speed bumps, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So it's more an aggressive Giggling Inventor rather than defensive.
I mean, because my turn 6 play as well, I've only got the Arcane Dynamo at 6, so which doesn't have much immediate impact. So yeah, I don't mind the Giggling, I'll take it for that reason. We'll see how it works though, you know. Might turn out to be terrible, who knows. Drakari Trickster's one of those cards. It really is, isn't it? You know, you're thinking, if you've got a terrible deck, you just take it. You're like, yeah, there's no downside to me taking this.
Yeah,
Have
like
a bad card.
we said before, isn't it? Stats are fine, and it's one of those arguably that it gets. I think it gets a higher swing the further that you play along, isn't it? Because your chance of giving your opponents good cards versus getting good cards. A Messenger's the safe bet, isn't it? But we talked about this. You generally stray away from RNG.
Spell Zerker at 2, or another Amani Warbear. Or even the Cold Wraith just for a 3/4 for 3. I think we go with the Spell Zerker. I think another 2-drop is nice in this deck. A Dragonmaw Scorcher. A second Dragon Slayer. Yeah, I've got it in for dragons today. Dragons need to die. And a second Blast Wave. Well, given I've got the Spell Zerker, given I've got the Tainted Zealot, how can you say no? Interesting deck. It's nice balance, but you know, you say something like that, you never know how it's going to work out. I mean, I've had some incredible decks that have just gone 1 and 3, and I've had some god-awful decks that have made 10, 11 wins.
Yeah, I've seen a drop in the level of hunters, level of warriors. I say hunters now. I haven't seen a drop in level of hunters. The hunters
I don't know if they've done any tweaking or anything sort of on invisibly. Oh, I wonder if that's a game loss there. Your game failed to start. Let's see if the Hearthstone client crashes completely. Oh no, apparently still at 0 wins, 0 losses. I remember somebody did that and they restarted and they played a game and they lost and they went back out and they were at 2 losses. They were like, wait a minute. Might be the shortest stream ever if this game doesn't load now. Might be like, right, off to play some Magic.
Medivh versus Gul'dan. Your soul shall be mine. Let the games begin.
Well, not a fantastic going second hand, but oh, that suddenly improved considerably. Like, yeah, I'll take that. Oh, and he's life tapped as well.
I don't need any of you.
So I'm happy using the cheaty just to get the bubble off it.
Dark One snaps all.
Ooh, that's another reasonable draw.
Dark One snaps all.
If he doesn't do anything with the rest of his turn, I'm going to enjoy that. My What a fantastic... He plays a 1-drop and then taps. Fantastic order.
He's not taking his classic walk lessons, has he?
So these 2 tar creepers are really annoying him.
Your magic shall not save.
That's fine. Naturally, it all goes face. That's arcane missiles for you.
Yeah.
It's like, just hit that guy. Just hit him. Take him out. But we can use our coin on the Primordial Drake and the Violet Worm, which is nice.
So many possibilities. Bare your soul to me.
Might even blast wave my own Violet Worm. Might get 7 spells.
Very humorous.
I wonder. So many possibilities.
There's his Violet Worms. That's fantastic news for me with a Blast Wave in hand. Wow, a Blast Wave in hand and have just drawn Tainted Zealot.
Dear, dear. I see many spells in your future.
It's whether I want to do it now, isn't it?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go face here. I'll let him run the 7-7 into the 4-7, finish it off with the 3-3 the following turn, and then Blast Wave. We've got one of our combos. He's going to 5.
I think it's a very safe bet that you'll get a Pyroblast from a Blast Wave.
Yeah, I mean, if I wanted to, I could double Blast Wave here.
Say, to be fair, the what was it? Zealot. Yeah, so it's 3, isn't it, with the Zealot? So you get overkill on those 2.
Exactly. So I could ping the Stone Skin Basilisk.
Yeah.
Take the bubble off it. Go Zealot Blast Wave. Does 3 to everything. Kills the whole board. Gives him 7/1/1s. And then I run my 7/7 into his face. Put him to 5.
Yeah, yeah. And still got a couple of mana left with whatever spells you get as well. Yeah.
Only a
Oh, and actually use ping actually, so no.
Oh, and I've got a fireball, so he's got to kill me this turn. Have some grubs. Bored o' grubs. Has he got a Defiant? I mean, he can't even Hellfire. That's the great thing. Oh, loses his shroom guy. Oh, he must really hate the fact that I've got a fireball here. Let's just hover it over his face for just a couple of seconds before releasing. So he lost that game because he tapped on turn 2, he tapped on turn 5. And he just completely lost the tempo. Tapped too much, didn't do enough things. And just created a... Because I went second. That was the thing, I went second and I had the board.
Yeah, he was going face slot, wasn't he, when he really shouldn't have done.
You know, Warlock, you want to protect your life total. Warlock, the longer the game goes on, the better you're feeling. Because you're like, yeah, well, I'm going to be drawing 4 more cards through tapping, so that's how I'll win the game, by overwhelming you slowly.
Yeah, especially when you've drafted a load of removal there that's hitting your own life total as well as tapping. It's like, yeah, probably not a good idea to take face damage.
I'm going to keep this going first. You know what, it's a little bit slow, but I've got a turn 3 Tar Creep which holds the board off, and the Cone of Cold also holds it off, and the Rusty Recycler gets you back a bit.
Probably only the Cold Coil, which is contra Tar Creeper, definitely. Oh, some synergy there.
Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking that's worked out nice, that turn 5 draw there. If he coins out something, I'll be happy. Oh, and another nice turn 5, the Sightless Ranger.
Hello.
Ah, hello there.
Oh, we exchange pings. This is going to be an exciting game, isn't it? You can just tell already. So I'm going to play the Egg Napper, just because of the Blast Wave synergy. Plus it makes him ping it again. So, you know, we're kind of trading tempo again. Like, what can he do but ping it? He can't play a guy. Not a 1-drop, he's just throwing a 1-drop. Oh, he's throwing an Arcane Missile, that's okay. Swing and a miss on the Arcane Missiles. Yeah, so the Blast Wave interacts nicely with the Sightless Ranger as well, and the Violet Worm. It's lots of cheeky guys. Lots of ways of drawing just those few extra cards. I've got my placement for the Meteor there. Little 1-1 in the middle.
Pro play.
Look how it burns!
thinking, what's he up to?
Perhaps.
Float like a butterfly. Sting like a bee.
I reckon he's going to deck himself if he keeps drawing cards off his hero ability. I think this game's going to go on for a while.
Yeah, you get the feeling that everyone's got a hand of removal.
I mean, I've got a lot of value with this Blast Wave when it eventually goes off, and I've got a lot in the meantime to stall with.
Time runs out on me.
Keep up! Families and yummies!
Someday I'll be just like you.
No spell power though from him.
Time runs out on me.
As long as it keeps out arrows.
Perhaps.
Keep up!
Yeah, let's just get Grubby Boy online. I don't think it's a great play to play the Worgen there. But the good thing is like if I can make 7/1/1 grubs, they interact nicely with the Worgen Abomination as well. You know, running them all into different targets, and letting the Abomination finish them all off afterwards. So there's too many good upsides to playing the the violet wine there.
Well, he's waited longer than 2 seconds, so he doesn't have a problem with.
Now I've got a nice little combo here.
We hear your heart.
A Dragon's Fury, that's going to be quite bad, that one.
Oh, Deck of Wonders, and how much you like that.
Yeah, use a Deck of Wonders, put the scrolls. Scrolls cost 0, don't they?
I think so.
Yeah. There's a complete non-bow then. It's not a combo, it's a non-bow. Right. Play Dragon's Fury for 0. Fantastic. So he's got to fear the fact that I might have a decent spell. He doesn't realise I've got absolute garbage.
Here there is no light.
Oh, there's a cheeky giggling.
At last! A worthy fool.
So he's still on 9 cards in hand, but he's down to 12 in his deck. And I'm still at a healthy life total with a good board. You know, drawing cards isn't everything in this game. Hey, at least I can do a Dragon's Fury for 1 guaranteed because I'm a Tainted Zealot if I shuffle 5 spells in with a Deck of Wonders.
What fools these mortals!
But I've got a Blast Wave in my deck, so hopefully it goes off for 5.
Time runs out on me.
He's taking a lot of face damage here. Bone of Cold. Another shooting star.
Neither snow nor rain nor witch. Move!
Foul lizard!
He doesn't have much removal, which is why I want to kill his guy. Because you've noticed the last few turns he hasn't really done fireballs, things like that. So I think there's a reasonable chance the 7-3 actually sticks on the board. He gets a Malleus, which bites and explosive runes. And then gets another arcane missiles. Must be nice. I mean, looking at RNG, like Shifting Scroll and Bone Drake giving him Malygos and Arcane Missiles. This Dragon's Fury is going to give me a 5.1, isn't it? So now he has to kill the Worgen Abomination, or he's got to deal with all the 1/1s, because he can't leave the 1/1s up knowing all of his guys are taking 2 extra damage next turn.
I wonder.
If I can draw my other Blast Wave with the Spellzerker as well, like play Spellzerker, ping it, Blast Wave for 4, just like Flame Strike. And then that's a ridiculous combo, because anything that still survives then takes 2 damage off the Worgen Abomination as well at the end of turn. So you're doing 6 damage to everything and you're getting a load of random spells. Oh, he's got a polymorph. He just wanted to spend the entire turn before playing it. Right. Blast Wave. Not a Blast Wave. Still, not bad.
Only a fool rejects the Lich King.
You cheekily ping your own Zerker.
Yeah. So I'm going to run my 1/1s into his 0/2s. At least 2 of them, just to improve the chance of taking out his 2/2s here. Yeah, in fact I can do it again. I'm good with that. There we go. Job's a good one. Let's hope he doesn't Blast Wave now. That'll make me sad. Only I can have Blast Waves. I mean, he had so many more cards than me, and he's down to 5 now.
To be fair, he has drafted random guys, it would appear, apart from a polymorph.
So I'm hitting him in the face for 8 here, putting him to 5.
Just see how he pinged face there, didn't he? He thinking, does he have a fireball?
Yeah. So he hits me back for 9, puts me fairly close to lethal here. Yeah, I don't mind trading on the most part. I mean, we could just go face and then Dragon's Fury to kill everything.
Yeah, because you know you got your Blast Wave, haven't you? So the net result's the same really, because you're going to, otherwise you're training to clear his board and your Blast Wave then doesn't.
Keep the last wave. We can build up the board a bit more. Because I think this 5/1's going to stick around. You know, he doesn't have much removal at all.
This power is ecstasy.
cheapest minion in my deck is. It's a cheaty ankle biter.
I serve.
I'm just going to keep the board clear again. Yeah, it feels like I'm feeling that as well, Chris. He's got a Pyroblast. Be interesting to know how long he's got some of these cards in his hand for. It's a pretty nice draw.
Let's dance.
I'm going to ping it just to guarantee I kill it next turn if he's got a removal spell. But yeah, that potentially stop lethal. Because he might just Pyroblast the 4-8 and then hit me for 8. Is what I'm thinking if he does have a Pyroblast. Oh, there it is. Right on cue. Who would have predicted that one, eh? Oh, and there's my Blast Wave. So, given that's all the spells in my deck, I guess we'll let RNG decide this one. Ooh, how lucky! I'm gonna ping his Cauldron because of Blast Wave. I mean, it doesn't change anything, it's still a 3-turn clock. I can ping his face the next couple of turns. Random spell. Oh, cheeky boy. Cheeky little boy. It's like, who's that?
The universe unravels.
I'll take the Pyroblast here. Since it's lethal if he goes face to me.
Need a key?
Well, I was right with this. Look, he's down to 3 cards. I said this game was going to go long.
At least you can bait the counterspell now with your ever-effective Dragon's Breath.
Dragon Fury for 0 countered. Ah, damn.
I see all.
Well, let's get the counter out.
Played.
Turns out they cost 5. We learned something new today.
I mean, if the guy's got 2 Pyroplasts, you know, he's welcome to win there. Don't fear that.
Smelly fish, yummy fish.
Oh, 10 to the face. That's how you do it. You don't pyroblast minions. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? You go to the face with the pyroblast. That was his mistake, wasn't it? And I was right with pinging his doctor as well. That was the interesting thing. He did have the pyro, you know, the pyro for my my dragon. He kills me otherwise.
Medivh versus
And
Maiev.
Maiev.
None can escape my fury.
Let the games begin.
Yeah, my hand isn't so... Oh, I don't know. Tainted Zealot, Arcane Missiles. It's a bad card, Tainted Zealot, though. It doesn't really do anything. Tainted Zealot I want later in the game for the Blast Wave. Well, I've drawn all my spell damage cards here, haven't I? Now the Spellzerker's turned up.
Amazing.
He was very fast, wasn't he? With the wow after doing the
Guessing
hallucination.
Meteor Flame Strike, isn't it? That's generally how you get really excited.
Should we try and get lucky with the arcane missiles? Like ping my own guy, set it off for 5. It's 50-50 whether it kills the 3-2 or not.
Perhaps.
Yeah, why not?
Why
I think
not?
you've got better odds, haven't you?
Yeah, he got there. He got there. Beautiful.
Amazing. 8+, he can't get you with a backstabbing either.
Yeah. But, you know, if I can shut down Samurai Chain Gang next turn, and then I've got this Blast Wave,
Blast Wave 4.
and he's made 2 eggs as well.
Very nice.
So, potentially this is like drawing me 7 cards, I'm thinking. Hi, Thomas. What's he doing here? What's he doing here? More discovers. Another hallucination. I'm going to give him this board. I'll have the 3 cards. Oh, a Flame Strike! Suits you, sir. We'll take that Flame Strike.
All in all, that seemed alright.
So I've got Swift Messenger next turn for a 6-2 for beating up his guy. But I'll make my Egg Napper because this will make him hero ability. Oh, okay, doesn't want to do that. He wants to curve out. Wants to fall prey to the Swift Messenger. So he gets Blast Wave off his random mage spell. Little did he know I've got another Blast Wave. So I'll get the Violet Worm on the board because the Primordial Drake is going to eat the 0-2s, and if he's going to walk the plank. Oh, look at this! Walking into this Drake. Walking into this Drake. Oh, it's a bad time. It sucks to be you.
Yes, against Mage, why would you think? What are the possible spells he's got that
They can
last
deal
wave?
2 to every
Blizzard, yeah, just do it.
Look at that air elemental in the middle saying, no betrayals going on here. Frostlich Jaina. Look at that, I'm reporting him to Blizzard for hacking. Hacking, playing these cards in this game mode.
Better be freezing those elementals, having no life gaining for you, monsieur.
Yeah, it's like, and I'm not playing that Voodoo Doctor because he can target that.
Yeah.
It's like he can't ping anything on this board. Oh, I'll have one of those, thank you very much. Oh, I really hope he's just done walk the plank. Or something like that. Like, God damn it, damaged minions.
I must decide.
So he's dead, right? Yep, he is dead to Exacxes.
By my frozen heart.
Nice Frostlich Jaina there, bro. Nice blast wave, bro. Really helped you. Those emotes really won you that game. You've got to be pissed off, haven't you, when you're getting a blast wave off an hallucination. You then get Frostlich Jaina and you still lose. It's like, what do you have to do to win a game of Hearthstone?
But like we said before, he was so busy drawing cards and doing clever things that he actually had no board.
Yeah, he actually thought, oh, I'm meant to be beating my opponents up, aren't I? I forgot that was the objective of this game. But I've got all these cards. Like, he died with like 8 cards in hand then, didn't he? Like, well, maybe play some of them.
Let the games begin.
There's both my blast waves. Let's chuck them both back. As tempting as it is to keep one. Well, this might be my first loss. All depends where the warrior's mana curve starts. You know, if it's a typical warrior, we're actually okay. Because it starts at 5.
Yeah, Dragon Roar, pass.
But that said, if he's got a load of Tar Lords, I may be in trouble. Oh, look at this! Look at this! Gravel Snout gave me a 2-1. I like it. I saw somebody play Gravel Snout and his opponent got a Gravel Snout. Like, yeah, that sucks.
Interesting.
I'm not going to coin just to kill that thing. I really don't care enough about it.
I don't need any of you.
I was there thinking, wait a minute, he's just played a lone champion, but it's not gained taunt and divine shield.
Do people even do that?
Do people play this card without other minions? Apparently so.
Float like a butterfly.
So I'm saving my coin for these sweet turn 7 and 8 violet worms. Like, he's not really damaging me, despite the fact that he's sort of got the tempo here. He's trading off all the time, which says to me he's got a very slow deck. He's got warpaths and stuff like that, and he's hoping the game goes long, which is, you know, the same as me, really. But he's down to 4 cards against my 6, and I get to draw next. Yep, there's a Sulthraze. That doesn't surprise me. Oh, a little bit greedy from him there. So I can run the 1-1 into the 3-3 and then maybe Scorcher and Coin finish it off. Or I could just run the Swift Messenger into it, and or maybe just do a Cursed Disciple, because that's particularly sticky.
Yeah, I think you're forcing him to. He's not going to leave that on the board, is he? And he's only got 3 cards in hand, so you've got to assume he doesn't want to play any big removals on it.
Perhaps.
Dark one snuff all.
I'm going to go face here. You know, if he wants to go to my face with his Phoenix, I'm fine with that. But I just want that slight chance that my Blast Wave draws me a card.
Crush the enemy. Defend Gilneas.
Time for the words. So he's got a weapon that he can hit the worm with, but he puts himself in lethal range. So he has to ask himself, does he really want to do that? Here's the problem, you see, he's trying to squeeze this value out of his Crowley. It's like, how can I give it +2? Because he just seems to think that Crowley's going to stick around on the board. You know, he thinks, oh, a mage with 7 cards next turn surely won't be able to kill my Crowley. There he goes. Thinks he can race me. Oh, giggle, giggle. Cheeky little boy. So, Warpath or lose? Like, even if he's got Warpath, he can't really deal me any damage. There's old Tarlord right on cue. Clear the board, draw a billion cards. So if I do it this way, I don't overdraw. Next turn. Oh, the least you could have done is hit his little 1-1. I mean, come on. If he magnetises this 1-1 into a 6-6 now, I'm not going to be happy at all.
Not to mention that was a handful of trash in the cards.
Well, there was a Flame Strike. That's handy enough. And, you know, tiny bit of value in Snap Freeze. Like here. Ooh, counter spell, eh? So we got Spell Zerker if we can ping it somehow.
Perhaps.
I love omelets.
Neither snow nor rain nor wind.
I dream and the world.
So we got Ysera and that guy.
Perhaps.
Am I going to get a Blast Wave out of that? Too many of these cards kill me here.
Perhaps.
So he can put me to 1 a lot of the time here.
What do you want?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it was basically Dragon Roar winning him this game. Like getting Ysera and that taunt was pretty ridiculous.
What now?
Now, 2 of the cards out of the 5 possible ones deal 5 damage. The Nightmare and the Ysera Awakens. And the other 3 obviously are dragons. If he's got one of the 2 dragons, or, well, you know, the dragon or the chick, I'm fine with that because they're going to die to a blast wave, or a flame strike even. But if he doesn't play anything, then I can't imagine him having... Well, he could... Yeah, if he doesn't have anything, he definitely has the deal 5, one of the deal 5 damage cards, because... Oh, he's got a Super Collider. Here we go. Yeah, that's the deal 5 damage. Oh, no, okay. So he absolutely has. He doesn't have Dream here. He doesn't have like a dragon or anything like that. So he's just going to go Ysera's Awakens, 5 damage to everything, and there's nothing I can do about that. Absolutely nothing I can do about that at all.
Interesting.
Well,
Don't touch the egg!
it survives the Ysera's Awakens.
Well played.
Yeah, and it was Nightmare, so it had to be either of them. Yeah, double Nightmare, there you go. So if he gets like double Dragon or something like that, I'm actually fine and I'm still in the game. So basically RNG properly screwed me out of that game.
Yeah, then you have a higher value combination from that Dragon Roar you got. I can't think of anything. A Ysera and a Drake. You're like, can you think of maybe a Deathwing? That's about possibly as good as it could possibly get.
Yeah, and then double Nightmare off the Ysera triggers as well.
Medivh versus Medivh.
Let the games begin. Oh, they already have.
I mean, I was going second, so I was always going to be struggling in that game. I think if I was going first, I would have probably killed him before he could do anything.
It'll grow back.
Well, not a great turn for me, unfortunately.
What do you want me chill?
Blast Wave can finish off the 3-5. Worst case scenario.
Who you want me chill?
So we'll try and hold on to the tempo as much as possible. He gets the 50-50.
Float like a butterfly. Sting like a bee.
So the Scorcher's quite nice because it's going to come down potentially the turn after the Giggling Inventor, and it's going to put a lot of guys sort of into the 1 toughness range if they're not already there for the Blast Wave. Oh well, he wants to kill his own guy for the sake of drawing a couple of cards. Not convinced over that one.
That's incredible.
He's got a Mossy. It still trades 1 for 1, so I'm fine with that. And good old Violet Worm. Ooh, I guess I've got my Violet Worm. Violet Worms for everyone.
I sense your struggle.
Nope. Has he got another Blast Wave?
Winter is here.
No, he doesn't.
Cold.
Perhaps.
Only a fool rejects the Lich King.
Glacial Mysteries. This game loves me, doesn't it? Eh? Research Project Glacial Mysteries Cone of Cold. This game absolutely loves me. pretty much low rolled my random spells. Like, it couldn't have been worse, that one. Yeah, so it seems... Oh, there you go, he got one as well. Cards for everyone. And he's got a Lich King. Must be nice.
Perhaps.
Neither snow nor rain nor witch. Move!
Frostmourne to really make me sad.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not having much luck with my RNG today, am I?
Only a fool rejects the Lich King. At last, a worthy fool.
Oh yeah, so he just casually gets the best possible one.
Free me!
Six, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, hits me for 15, puts me to 4. There was no way out of that one. It's like, he has 9 cards in hand, I'm on 4.
Perhaps.
Do you think he can work out what to do? I mean, if he's disconnected, that would be the best possible result for me.
The universe unravels.
Pretty sure he can do me 8 points of damage.
For Najatar.
Ooh, favours. Unfortunately, not enough. Needed to hit perfectly.
Checkmate.
Yeah, never winning that one. Not against somebody with a Lich King. and then immediately gets anti-magic shell off the Lich King. It's like, yep, you're gonna win that one. That's the problem now. You get to 3 wins and already you're hitting the ridiculous decks. I mean, the players aren't necessarily any good, but it's like they got to 3 wins because they got a Lich King and everything else that went with it. So my loss at 3-0 was just due down to Dragon Roar. Again, it's not that the warrior was a good player, but you got Dragon Roar and he got Ysera off Dragon Roar. So it's like, congrats, yeah, that's why you're going to win the game. And then at 3-1 it's, oh, I've got a Lich King and I get anti-magic shell immediately off it. It's like, yeah, that's why you're going to win again. So going second against Hunter. So we're, you know, we're pretty close to a 3rd loss already, going second against Hunter. I mean, I love Arena, but the RNG is really starting to stretch now. There's good old candle shot just to make my cheaty ankle biter completely rubbish. I'm going to play the Tar Creeper just because it helps my Cursed Disciples survive a bit longer. And he might just play a dragon this turn. There's a slight chance he plays a dragon this turn. Right. Yeah, there you go. So he just wants to go face because he's a hunter. That's what hunters do. I'm hunter, I must go face.
Blow something up.
Oh, hits absolutely perfectly with the RNG. So there you go. Doesn't hit himself, doesn't hit me once, just wins himself the game instantly. Well played, sir. Yeah, there's no way I can come back from this now. Like, that tempo swing was utterly ridiculous.
Float like a butterfly. Sting like a bee.
So it's pretty much going to be the 3rd loss to RNG. see, that deadly shot probably wouldn't have happened without it.
A worthy fool.
So I guess that means it's explosive, the fact that he wants to kill that. Like, if it was freezing, he'd never do a play like that. Okay, so it could be Wandering Monster now. Turn 7, do nothing. I'm just really struggling trying to think what's in his hand. I'm guessing loads of violet worms. In which case, that's horrible for him now. So he needs something with taunt to force me to attack the minion. Has he just got like a triple candle shot hand?
Come dance to my song.
Spellzerker. Let's have some of him. So I don't understand this hunter because he was going face, but he doesn't have cards in his deck to go face with. So what's all that about? That's a snake trap. That would be so incredible.
Let's dance.
Fantastic.
Astounding.
Makes sense why he didn't play the gastropod. Oh, that's a nice draw though. We'll take some of that. So, yeah, this guy trades with the 7/7, but I get 7/1/1s, which puts me in a better position than playing anything else there. Like, I prefer the 7/1/1s to a lone 4/8. Because funnily enough, he might just hit me with the gastropod for 1. Because he knows I'm hitting him for 7.
Like a butterfly. Sting like a bee.
He might think I can't kill the gastropod because I didn't kill it last turn. He's probably thinking, there's no way he'd play that. With a gastropod out. So even if he's got removal for the 4/8, it's a vaporize.
Well fought. I concede.
Yeah, so he kind of second guessed himself there. Because yeah, you're right. He couldn't afford to run the gastropod in. Yeah, his deck was actually terrible. I was really worried about him, and it turns out he was going face, and he didn't have anything to go face with. He had double candle shot, he had a 1/2 stubborn gastropod, he had unimpressive creatures. I was expecting like violet worms and stuff like that, so we got pretty lucky there.
Let the games begin.
Going second again. Joy. So I'm keeping Swift Messenger because it's a really strong card going second. Like the rush. You need that to be able to take something out that's causing you problems. And all I'm looking for is another 4-drop. Like, once I've got those two, I just want one more card that's 4 mana. Let's see if he's got a backstab.
So many options.
There's the backstab. What am I to? Dragon Slayers. I'll take that.
Incredible.
Help me curve out wonderfully, that has. You know, I've got all my early game here.
Nice to meet you.
You get some nice value off a betrayal here. know, going second to a rogue's got the best hero ability for keeping tempo, and to actually have this board without having used my coin on turn 4 is a huge bonus. And now he's just wasted turn 4, so he might have just lost himself the game there.
Come, my pretty birds.
Why do you call?
Sure, he can get a ridiculous mage card for 1 mana. He could get lucky there, but he could also get gravel. He could also never draw any of the 10 cards he shuffled in. Here's his card he's drawn. Is it 1 mana? Is it a flame strike?
My calculations are flawless.
Blood and plunder. Speak to me.
Not that impressive.
Neither snow nor rain nor witch.
Move.
But we definitely want to end this as quick as possible with the academic espionage. We're not going to play any kind of value game here. Right, because he's got a nothing board.
Foul lizard! Pick them down!
Float like a butterfly. Sting like a bee. Free me.
As you command.
Is that food? I need it.
In case you haven't worked out, I'm not a fan of academic espionage. I think it's just turn 4, do nothing a lot of the time, and it's still a 1 in 3 chance that you actually draw one of the 10 cards you've shuffled in. So it doesn't give you great odds for having any kind of immediate impact in the next 2 turns. I mean, look at this. He went first. He went first. And he's at 7 life, and I'm at 30 on turn 7, and I've not used my coin. I think that tells you everything about academic espionage right there. It's like, congratulations, you've just lost the tempo completely and utterly. Like, if anything, academic espionage is a card you play on sort of turn 18. You know, when you've run out of everything else to do. You just can't afford to do something like that on turn 4. And he's probably going to think to himself, oh, I was really unlucky in this game. No, you were actually just bad putting the card in your deck in the first place. And he's rage quit as a result. So again, that's another game I had no right of winning at all. I should not have won that game, going second to a rogue. But then he just played some bad cards. And, you know, to be fair, it's like the academic espionage might have won him 1 of the 2 of the previous games, and that in his head has justified having it in the deck. You know, because you can just get really lucky. But when you're against someone who sort of put a reasonable deck together, mana curve wise, and is always making the threats every turn, you can't just waste an entire turn doing that.
Let the games begin.
Oh, I get to go first. This is a luxury. I'm going to keep the Saronite Chain Gang because if I get a bad start, I want something to do. You know, I need some taunts to hold off his like army of guys. But I'm happy now. Now I've drawn both of these. The Swift Messenger and the Chain Gang give me a lot of options there.
Calm before the storm.
And Blastwave's really good against Shaman, you know, with all his totems. All I need is like one spell power card to go with that Blastwave and it just nukes everything. So I'm going to play the value game here. You know, I don't want to have my entire board die to a lightning storm, so... Yeah, that's fine. Doesn't really do anything.
Neither snow nor rain.
Like, if anything, it completely screws over him now. And we're going to get rid of his totem as well.
Float like a butterfly. Sting like a bee.
So yeah, Shaman going second. He needs a lightning storm. He needs something to get back into this game. I mean, obviously Shaman does have some good removal. It all tends to overload you as well.
Rams? Those aren't
Well, yeah, he hasn't played Volcano yet. I mean, that's such a tempting board to Blast Wave, but...
Keep up.
I just can't bring myself to do something like that.
Try harder, man.
I'd rather just keep hold of the board, keep everything off his side of the board. And play 2 Violet Worms, turn 8, turn 9 to kind of end it. You're on 5. What have you got?
Out of my jungle.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything. So yeah, that was kind of like a free win, really.
That was a mistake.
Keep up.
Which is always nice. I'll take the free wins. I can work with this. So it's looking a lot more reasonable now at 6 and 2. Now I'm not being savaged by the RNG. I mean, yeah, you know, a 7-8 with taunt on turn 4. might have savaged me. But I had a solution. So I was fine with him getting that card.
versus my egg.
None can escape my fury.
Let the games begin.
Going second to Rogue. Now this is a Rogue on 6 wins, so he really should just be able to hold the tempo easily enough.
Smelly fish, yummy fish.
Now if I play the Spell Zerker here, he just hero abilities, leaving himself with the 2-1, and it's not great. Like, because there's a lot I can do with this Spell Zerker later in the game. And I think getting the 2-1 out on the board is important for the tempo rather than just simply pinging that guy. He's going to hit me. He's going to hit me so much. Yoink. My coins. Thank you very much. Don't mind if I do. Like, why would you play Hoarding Dragon when everyone takes Dragon Slayer in this format? Oh man, that was savage.
I hear that's a bit of a tempo swing.
It's another rogue going first against me who's somehow managed to lose the tempo.
You just don't play, do you? Because it's the only way you lose.
So we've got a few options here. Spell Zerker.
Interesting.
Ping my own guy, Arcane Missiles for 5. Or just go face. Let this become a 5-2. And then beat it up the following turn.
I love omelets.
We're hoping he just makes a guy this turn. Just goes, I've got a guy. Which is exactly what does happen. Got a little bit of luck there. Obviously I'm hoping my missiles hit the world.
The sun has
Abomination. So he's just killed himself then, basically. He's like, yeah, my own Abomination killed me. Maybe he somehow thought Abomination had given taunts as well there. Nope. Well, we've done it. We made it to 7 wins. That's always the objective. Anything after this is a little bit of bonus. And, you know, I've got 3 violet worms in my deck, but I haven't really used them that much. You know, I've had like 1 out a lot of the time. But they've not really smashed my opponents. Like all of the sort of the 2 drops to the 5 drops have been doing the work there. Nobody has followed today. Nobody's used their Twitch Prime today on me. I always appreciate $2.50 from the old Twitch Prime. Never going to say no to that. Going second to a warrior. I think I keep 2 Dragon Slayers against him. Because Dragon Warrior is kind of popular. Oh, that's problematic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ping it. This at least forces him to trade off.
The dark path is my destiny.
Oh, that was nice of him. That was very nice of him, in fact. Potential sick blast wave at some point.
Perhaps.
There's a Dragon Roar, so I'm definitely saving the other Dragon Slayer now. So there you go, he's wasted his turn. He's completely wasted his turn.
We hear your heart. There!
Foul lizard!
Well played. Mushroom power!
That's fine, he's still getting blast waved out.
Well played.
So fragile.
If he has a second fungal, it's a little bit awkward.
I'm like everyone's biggest
Nope,
fan.
he doesn't. Well, we've drawn the Spell Zerker.
Come, my pretty birds.
Ooh. Dragon? Dragon would be nice tempo for me.
Fleshlings are so fragile.
No such luck.
dance to my song.
So we've got Zealot Blast Wave. Dragon now. That's annoying that it's a Scorcher, but he is going to have them in his deck. And it was one he just drew as well. That's nice, because again I get to save the Dragon Slayer for one of his bigger dragons to help me out, like if he's got a Ysera or something. I can kill the Ysera because it'll have 13 toughness. And there's the 1 point of damage to everything, obviously. Nothing if not predictable. But how lucky! LOL! You had to kill your guy. Bet he didn't expect that one. Really don't want to play this Dragon Slayer. Like, I'm going to get absolutely savaged if I do.
Interesting.
I mean, that's a nice combo, isn't it? Zealot, Spellzerker, ping my own Spellzerker. Cone of Cold for 4 to everything. Yeah, I think unfortunately I do have to chuck that out there.
Only a fool rejects the Lich King.
Well, he's got 2 dragons and they both got +1/+1. And he's at 10 mana, so he can definitely play one of them now. And now he's got 3 mechs to go with his 2 dragons. Seems pretty good. Yeah, so there's far too much that just cleans out my side of the board here. Just look at that, 6 damage to all minions.
Obliteration.
Foul lizard!
I'll take that.
For the scourge!
So he's still got 2 massive dragons. He's not played either of them, which makes me think one of them's something like a Deathwing.
Icy winds of Northland.
Or a Cindergolfer, in fact. Another Blast Wave to draw yet more cards. I've got 2 violet worms, so maybe we can get away with that. Does use up my entire turn, which maybe I can't afford right now.
For the scourge.
I think we just leave it at that for the moment. Maybe I could have shuffled some cards in with the deck of wonders. Well, that's actually fine, given the fact I've got Blizzard and Arcane Missiles and Blast Wave.
Such a price for power.
Interesting.
I think that's reasonable enough. He's still got 1 huge dragon, so could very well be a Deathwing, the fact that he's not played that huge dragon.
Mushroom power!
Neither snow nor rain nor witch.
Luna's Pocket Galaxy in hand going, why didn't you change your Violet Worms to 1 mana? It's like, I just didn't have 7 mana.
What now?
But we've got the Worgen Abomination, ping something, like sweep up his side of the board quite nicely. I mean, well, that does the job as well. So he's played 2 Fungal Mancers. I'm gonna risk that he doesn't have a 3rd Fungal Mancer. Oh, it's the Malygos. Well, we knew it was something, didn't we? So we got Syndragoza and Malygos. So I could have played Cursed Disciple there. It was definitely an option. But I think he can deal 1 damage a lot of the time quite easily. Turns out he can deal 4 damage as well. Oh, but he's just going face. That's nice of him, isn't it? Pretty good. Must be nice. Oh, and of course it's got taunts as well, yeah. Makes absolute sense. Oh, okay.
Keep up! Try harder!
I think that was the only card that could possibly have saved me there. And of course he's got a Brawl to go with everything else in his deck. Right, this guy's deck's absolutely ridiculous. Double Fungal Mancer, Brawl, double Dragon Roar, Warpath. Like, he just has all the goods here. And he's not got anything small off his recruits each turn either. Yeah, he's got no bad cards in his deck. I don't think they'll nerf Dragon Roll. They'll just put it in, like, the top bucket where it won't do anything at all. Like, I think if I'd maybe had some weapon removal, I could have won this game.
Onward, friends, to adventure!
So you're looking at it, see, he goes Oakenheart, and he's got no cheap cards left in his deck. I mean, there's only 2 there, but, you know, he was so certain he was going to win that, and then he just kept getting RNG after RNG after RNG. It's like, yeah, that's why you won, because both your Dragon Roars high rolled. And your entire deck was pretty ridiculous. But, you know, 7 wins with Mage is good. Like, you can't play around everything. You can't beat the Hunters and also beat the Warriors. Because you've got to have quite a fast deck against the Hunters. Which means, conversely, at the other side of things, you've got to have an extremely greedy deck against the Warriors. I mean, you saw that. The game went really long and he was down to his last 2 cards.